Giving a real Mary J. Blige feel today. Stick. What's up, y'all? It's supposed to go live this morning, but I am going live now. So this morning was a whole lot. It was a whole lot, but we made it out the door. Okay, let me share on Twitter. Here, just a little bit. But if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Ooh, we're just gonna make a U-turn right here. Subscribe to my channel and like the video. Your comments down below on what you thought about this week's episode. This is an Insecure review, season 5 and episode 6. All right, so we pick up where we left off last week, where Issa is at the hospital. And remember, we saw a little teaser where she said, wait. She called over to them and she was like, wait. And I was like, I know this girl is not speaking to this couple, trying to get their attention. And, you know, a part of me felt like, okay, growth. Come on, growth. Give me growth. Then the other part of me was like, girl, she's so awkward all the time that it's like, why even subject yourself to that kind of abuse if you know you're not gonna be able to handle it? She will definitely put herself in an uncomfortable situation just for the sake of others. Annoying. Okay, so anyway, yeah, she calls over to them. She goes over there. She's talking to him, and Condola asked her, do you want to hold him? And I was just like, oh, we going too far. It's too far. And she's like, yeah. She picks up the baby, and y'all, when I say she threw that baby like Kobe threw the baby in the trash, roundhouse kicked Condola, was bucking out Lawrence. I literally yelled out loud because I was just like, this girl is wildin'. Obviously it was a daydream, but it was hilarious. Like, we know that Natasha Rothwell directed this episode, so it was like, okay, she's keeping the humor, she's keeping that going. So that it's looking like my internet is gonna act up for a little bit, so let me try to give it some time. Just a little bit of time. There's hairs all up in my necklace. Okay, that's not my car, for the record. That's not my car. Okay, anyway, so ooh, I'm shining. So yeah, so this is a dream sequence or a daydream, but it kind of just lets you know, like, Lawrence, Condola, the baby, they're all on Issa's mind. And I was just like, okay, girl, like, if you're gonna be in this with Nathan, we can't be thinking about Lawrence so much. But it is realistic, right? You thinking that, okay, my ex is leaving town, like, I need some time to get over this because I was with him for so long. We dived back into it after this break, made it back to each other, completely fell for each other. Like y'all know, we've already been through the whole synopsis, the whole little pattern. And Nathan, I just feel like, although these things are realistic, like, Issa has to have some type of discipline or maturity or growth where she understands, like, no, you cannot just keep picking Lawrence up and putting him down and playing around with Nathan. So she's like being her awkward, wishy-washy self, which annoyed me because, you know, you always want to root for the girl, but it used to be all over the place, I'm not gonna lie. Molly decided to go ahead and go back to work, and so she is fully in work, like fully doing all of the things. She's away at the retreat and nobody knows about her mother. She's very distracted. Every time her phone rings, she's thinking that it's her brother with news about her mom, which, you know, this is realistic as well, because it's like, you feel like no one's going to be able to handle things the way that you would handle them. And that's true. That is true. But also, just because people handle things differently doesn't necessarily make it bad. A lot of times, as control freaks, we automatically think like we have to be in control all the time of every aspect of life, and that's just not true. There are other people who can do it better than you, trust me. Or maybe not even better, like they can do it as good, or maybe they won't do it better than you in your eyes, but they can still do it. Okay, hard lesson, I know, hard lesson for me to learn as well. But so yeah, so Issa's in the emergency room, and she's picked up different foods for you know, Molly's family. She kind of macking on the brother playing along, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know how Issa ain't got with one of them brothers yet, but her brothers, you know, they messing with all kind of different people. Who was that one Instagram person that was on the episode last season? Was it Masika? I don't know, the brother with somebody, you know, like, no, we don't want those problems for Issa, even though Issa has made quite a few problems for herself. Okay, so I say so much. I need it on a shirt. They have, let's see, Molly's away at work. She's away with her black coworkers, and they're kind of bonding to where, you know, she's asking, or they do something where they go on a retreat. They ask a question, you know, what was your first impression? So Molly's, somebody she went to college with or whatever, is they're asking him his first impression, and Molly's sharing her first impression. But basically what this shows us is that, just like we already knew, she was really uptight when she first came to the law firm. Like, remember, she's asking about DocuSign and steamers for coffee. Like, she was really uptight, and everybody felt like she was. Like, it was like, okay, sis, like, calm down. And, you know, obviously Molly has since then calmed down a whole lot. But I don't think, like, she's able to see, like, okay, maybe I was doing a whole lot. Like, you saying that, this person saying that. Like, she's doing a lot of self-reflection where she's realizing, like, okay, yeah, like, I really was a whole lot in all aspects of my life. But I feel like, I mean, it's a part of learning and growing. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something that you need to grow and mature from, right? So, okay, so back over to Issa. Issa is trying to work with the, is it Anthology Collective? They're another group of people within the community that is trying to do something, and Issa wants to get behind them. And because of the word from Crenshaw in the streets and on Twitter and all these things, now the blog is kind of earning like a rep. And Issa's kind of realizing, like, well, wait, like, no, like, we still want to work with y'all. Like, all these things that he said is not necessarily true. But then it's like, too, like, you went back and forth with him. Remember, she sent him like DMs, and it was like this whole thing, instead of handling it in a mature way, which she has a problem with, like just nipping it in the bud and saying what it is. Now, she did do it with Nathan a couple episodes ago, but this is after, like, they went back and forth. She did finally be like, okay, like, I apologize for, you know. And that's the thing about being an adult, like, there can be a whole lot of riffraff, a whole lot of back and forth, but you have to be able to take yourself out of that moment and just focus on the things that matter, like the big picture. I think that's just very important. I feel like I say that a lot about different situations in life. There are my own situations personally where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a whole lot. It's gonna take a whole lot for me to back out of this and see a bigger picture, because a lot of the things contributing to this are small little minute things that need to be corrected or straightened out. So I fully get that as well. But also I'm like, Issa, you can't think that doing Crenshaw wrong in the same city, same vicinity, same little zip code area is gonna be fine, and like other people are gonna hear about it and just be like, oh, well, that was just that one experience. No, he has lots of influence, and social media literally drives, you know, all of that. So Issa decides she's gonna make some brownies and go on down there and talk to Crenshaw. Now the whole office, his whole space, like, is not messing with her. Like, they just like cool on her. And she finally get in there talking to Ralph Angel, and Ralph Angel real pumped up, he real upset. And I'm just like, bro, I need you to understand business. Like, I understand you feel like she sold out, y'all had a real and raw authentic moment, but also it's like, how does he not understand that a lot of times to get the money, to get the funds, you may have to decide between, okay, do we do this and stick to the culture, or do we make sure that we're gonna have the money? Because I think, like, if you don't have the money, then you can't have the motive. Come on, you can't have the vision, you can't do the things. And I'm just wondering, like, is Crenshaw supposed to be this like closed-minded person that doesn't understand that? Because he should understand that. Like, at the very least, we know that if you don't please the client, they're not gonna put forth their money. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna put forth funds if you're not going along with what was agreed upon. So while I feel like Issa should have been like, oh my gosh, I feel like Issa could have been like, let me get out this lane, because see, people just be in my car, honey. I do not do slamming on brakes. I do no. I'm used to riding with my dogs, and you can't slam on brakes on dogs. They be in a seatbelt, but I still, like, I stay a whole car. We wouldn't already been through this. We already been through this. But anyway, I'm like, why is this man not understanding that in business, you know, and maybe she did sell out or whatever. And that's the thing too, like, Issa should have been able to admit, like, hey, like, had a real authentic, transparent moment and been like, hey, like, I'm trying to make my business pop. We need money. But also, like, I want to stay true to us, and I want to do what's good for the community, for the neighborhood. But hey, man, help me out. Like, I messed up. I'm sorry that, and it ended up working out. So you trusted your gut, and I learned from this. I learned something from this. But also, it's like, what if it didn't work out? You know, like, she not having that conversation. It's just very like, what did you expect me to do? And it's just like, girl, really lay out the details for this man, because Ralph Angel, you know, he be stubborn in all the shows. Only one he wasn't stubborn in it was Girls Trip. So, yeah, I don't know about Crenshaw. And I kind of want her. I kind of feel like, can Issa and Crenshaw get together? I would love to see that. But anyway, there's a whole lot more that goes on with Issa throughout the episode. She's kind of dealing with that, and you know, she's stressed because she's really unsure of herself. She's always very insecure and unsure about herself. And when you're coming up with a yeah, Crenshaw definitely does not know how corporate business operates. But that's the thing, it's like, she, on one hand, she has the autonomy to create the way that her business, you know, how it needs to go. But also, it's like, if you want to have sponsors, if you want to have people, money backing up the project and the things, like, we kind of have to color the lines a little bit. And I feel that. I don't know if it was y'all and y'all were putting forth, you know, if you were doing your brand or some benefit or some fundraiser and you got a sponsor that was like, I think you have to use discernment. It's like, if he's trying to take, if the sponsor's trying to take away everything, the bare bones, that's one thing. But if you're just so tight on your art that you're not willing to compromise on anything, then it becomes like, what's important here? You know, he's telling Issa by any means necessary, like, just give me a shot. He was clearly desperate. So I think there's just like a lot of different aspects that aren't being considered, and he's not practicing, he's not using a whole lot of empathy. Okay, so she's this whole thing with Nathan now, like, Issa's been pretty insecure and had a lot on her mind as far as her business. But when she getting down with Nathan, she really trying to force this man to say I love you back, and that irked my soul. It was really awkward to watch, because I was like, girl, if he ain't said it, let that man either get there. But if it be like months, but you know, actually, I'm not even gonna say that. There should definitely just be a conversation. Like, if you're gonna come out your mouth and say I love you, Like, and then the way you said it too, you just kind of spit it out and then let time go on, and then you expected him to acknowledge that and say it back. Like, no, girl. Like, there should have been a conversation to be like, hey, like, I said this on accident, or I said this, and, I thought about it and I realized, like, we have been talking for a really long time. Like, I do love you. I do have a whole lot of love for you, but I'm not in love. Some kind of context. But she did not do that. She did not do that. So it's like, okay, girl, how you thinking that this man just, it's like when a lot of us in relationships, we just be like, oh, he's supposed to read my mind. Like, he's supposed to just know. Because you don't want to communicate everything, because you want to keep them guessing. You want to play the cat and mouse game because, a man likes to chase and all this stuff, all these innuendos that they be saying. But then, too, it's like, if you don't say nothing, then you're going to be mad because the man ain't know. So it's like, which one is it? How do you know? How do you know? How would they know? Yeah. So that tension just grows throughout the episode because Nathan is dealing with something at work where, Suge, the one who dropped the pizzas during the earthquake, or he handed them first of all, he showed up to the barbecue with pizzas, and it was supposed to be different meats, and then was handing them to Nathan, and either Nathan dropped them or Suge, I don't know, it don't really matter who dropped them, but the fact that he even brought these pizzas and handed them to Nathan instead of going to put them down and set them up when you already late, that's another thing. Okay, Suge is earning this reputation of just not being a good employee, right? So they're in the barbershop, and Suge got all these different clients that's been waiting on him. It's been 30 minutes to an hour. He still ain't there. He ain't giving no word, ain't said nothing. And, Arik's thing is, like, he bringing the celebrity clients, like, he brings in the traffic up in here. So it's all good. Very much a homeboy agreement. Nathan's like, nah, this is a business, and I feel like we need to be professional, and we need to hold everybody to the same standard. Everybody needs to pay their booth rent. Everybody needs to practice professionalism, like all these things. And so because the clients are sitting there, he's like, I'll cut y'all up. It's all good. And everybody kind of looking at him like, okay, well, I don't really know if that's smart. I don't really know if that's a good idea because, get the barber code. You're not supposed to cut nobody else up or have nobody else's chair or whatever it is. All the, spirit stick, woo stuff. So on one hand, I felt it, but on the other hand, I'm like, okay, Suge making y'all business look bad because he's just not there. He around here acting like a superstar, and he neglecting his customers. So that's in turn going to take money out y'all pocket. So I felt it, but then I also didn't feel it at all. Then too, it's like, I'm confused. I thought that was Nathan's barbershop. Is it not Nathan's barbershop, or did he just go to barber school and start cutting at this shop? Because I thought he had bought this space, like started his own business. Like, I thought that's what him and Issa was doing last year, and then when they sat down to do this party, and then them officially being open for 1 year, like, I thought it was his place. I kind of got lost in that. I don't really know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Okay. All right. So let me see. Yeah, so Nathan's, kind of annoyed about this employee, but, he does, the right thing, and he cuts, or so we thought, the right thing, and he cuts the guy's hair. So when Suge comes back to work, they're taking up the booth rent, and they asked Suge for his. He said, oh, Nathan got it. And it's funny because he was calling him Nathan. Either he was calling him Nathan, or the guy from Just My Opinion, Brandon T. Avery, was calling him Nathan. But somebody was saying Nathan, like nothing but like Nathan. I don't know if I don't know if I sound different saying it. It is Nathan, but a lot of them were saying like Nathan. I can like, how they say nothing, like, or back, like throw it bike. It's like they were saying like Nathan. It's hard for me to say it again without making a fool of myself. But anyway, yeah. So So Nathan's picked up from that. Suge is like, you know, pressed to him like, yeah, let's get the rent from Nathan because, you know, he got it. Basically pressed because he took on his clients, he cut them up when he wasn't there, and Nathan's just like, you know, stop all that whining, like you wasn't here, you're not pulling your weight, you're not doing what you need to do. And Suge is real pumped up. I was just like, he is really angry. He is playing this role really well, popping off on my good man Nathan, calling him crazy, making fun of his bipolarism, and Eric's like Arik is trying to separate Nathan. And you know, it's people like that. I can't stand people like this. Like when two people are in a argument or a feud going on, you know, people try to de-escalate. Instead of de-escalating the person that's the most hype. Okay, I'm back. I don't even know where I left off, but he doing all this arguing and yelling at or they doing all this pushing back of Nathan and trying to hold him back. I'm like, y'all need to be talking to Suge, okay? Suge is the one who's wrong, justifying it because, you know, this is a place of business and y'all trying to get Nathan together. Y'all need to get Suge together. That's messed up. It's just messed up. And it's, you know, people like that who just, you know, they be around to hear about your vulnerabilities and hear about your weaknesses and you think it's all fine and then you think everybody friends, and then as soon as something happened that they don't like, they ready to just use or demonize all of your things, all of your extras. They demonize it and weaponize it and just say it out loud to you in that manner. And I'm like, if Nathan would have matched his energy, he would have been well within his rights. But the fact that he was just like, you know, this is my job, it ain't even worth it, I'm gonna just calm down. I was just like, okay, on one hand, I'm proud of him for not feeding back into it, but I'm like, y'all need to get Suge. Ain't no way would just be allowed to keep cutting. But that's why I'm like, is Nathan not the business owner? I'm very confused. So, okay. So when Nathan goes home later, you know, him and Issa then met up and they eating and stuff, and Issa got this sweater. No. Issa got this sweater on. Yes, thank you. Weaponize your flaws and shortcomings. Thank you. Issa got this sweater on with these white pointy heels, and I was like, this is not it. Now the sweater was cute. The way her hair was up was cute. Like, I'm not even gonna say the sweater was cute. Basically, from her knees up, she was cute. I don't know what she would have made that better. Maybe like a Puma, platform Puma and Adidas, something else, girl, because them heels was not it. But I feel like that's been a talk a lot on different people's reviews, so I'm not gonna harp on it too much. So yeah, they meet up back at the house, and it's just been a really awkward day for Issa. She's been taking L's left and right. Nathan's been taking L's. Yes, extremely trash. I mean, even when she was walking in them, I was just like, okay, what is happening with these shoes? Like a boot, a strap. I don't even know what else could have went with that. I just don't even know. You know, there were some really cute outfits on here, really unique and stuff, but that just was not the pairing. That was not it. That's not what we needed. Yeah, so they get back to the house, they're eating, they're getting their food together, and Nathan kind of asks her about her day. Issa chooses to not share about her day. And so, yep, that's it. Them riding boots. And so Nathan kind of shares like he ready to leave LA. He don't think LA for him. This is not the place for him. And anybody who knows a man, or just people, period, because I mean, even women do this. Like, we're not even gonna get into gender roles or like the different ways that men and women act. If anytime you hear a person say like the action or the thing that they're going to do versus sharing how they feel or about their day, that's not good. That means that something went on in the day that you need to be concerned about, or something happened. Something happened. People do this all the time where they're just like, how was it? Oh, I'm actually no longer eating meat. Okay, well, what happened with meat? Why don't you like meat anymore? Or how was your day? Oh, actually, I'm never going back there anymore. Okay, so why don't you ever want to go back there anymore? There are reasons. So the fact that Issa was so in her own mind about this love you thing, that she just totally just ignored his cry for help, and then she still having these daydreams because she she was getting something to eat and thought she saw Condola, and Condola like going back at her like, yeah, he moved back for me, look at my ring, instead of the mall ring you got, honey, he done got me this $1 million ring, and he make $1 billion a month, and all he got that work, and he like all this stuff, right? And Condola ends up kicking her back. So this, even though this is not out loud, like this is not real life, we know that this is her self-conscious, and this is the way that she's feeling, and the things that she's dealing with in her thoughts. So she's gonna project all that onto poor little old Nathan, who already didn't had a bad day. So when she asked him, so you really just not gonna bring it up at all? You're just not gonna say anything? I was like, oh Lord, here we go, because he didn't said all this. Your next word should have been, oh snap, like why you say that? What happened today? Like what's making you feel that way? But because you didn't have the capacity, because you in your own way about so many things going wrong in your own life, you just projected. It was disgusting. I was very annoyed by that decision that Issa made, but I was like, okay, well, this is her bed, she gonna lie in it, I guess. So of course Nathan snaps, and he's like, oh, you're not even gonna ask me about my day? You serious? That's seriously what you want to talk about? She like, I said I love you, and you just ain't say nothing back, and is that what we doing? Like you was just never gonna bring it up ever? On one hand, I feel her, like he didn't bring it up, but also what he ends up saying is, Issa, you all over the place. Like you want this or you want that. Like you want to have it this way or that way. You want it up, you want it down. At first you want to take it slow. Next thing, you said we just friends. Then you talking about you love me. Then you talking we together. Like, and then I'm like, no, Nathan, you said that you was boyfriend. She never said that, but okay, I understand. I'm like, it's all of this, and then here you are talking about love, but you say you want to take it slow. Like, it's just a lot. You're sending me mixed signals going on. Like, you're just in place. What do you want from me? And so, I feel like what she wants from him is for him to be Lawrence and not have no baby. That's what she want. She want her man that she just discovered has moved back to LA, who she gonna be seeing around, starting his whole new perfect little life with somebody else. She wants him not to have no baby. She wants them to be together. That's what she wants, because you're trying to make Nathan Lawrence. And even though y'all have a connection and he's authentic and you really do like him, I think that you like him because he's good people. You might not necessarily like him because you just are so in love with Nathan. I just think you're in love with Nathan because you can't be with Lawrence. That's not a cute thing. Like, I feel like a year was enough time to get over, but also like the only reason that you broke up is because he was moving. In which, I mean, we do this. You'd be like, okay, he's moving. He's going to be out of sight, out of mind. Like, I could do this. But with them down the street, possibly seeing them at Ralph's and stuff, oh, honey, I don't know. I don't know, honey. I don't know. I get it, though. I get it. All right, so that's the whole thing with Issa, Nathan, Lawrence. Like, we haven't seen them interact, but I'm wondering if on next episode she's going to be at somebody's party, or just like the Homecoming or Coachella website, the Coachella episode last year, when they all hung out together, they ended up seeing Lawrence at the gas station with Chad. So I'm like, are we gonna get a repeat of that where they run into him somewhere and they kind of reconvene? I don't know. I don't know. But the thing about Nathan is so good at running when things get a little tough. I'm like, is he going to stick it out at this barbershop? Is he going to have that talk? Because he has been just publicly, like, just disrespected. Like, the way Suge came at him was just so foul. Like, and Suge don't seem like the type to just come up and apologize. He seemed like the type to be like, well, it is what it is. I'm bringing in the celebrity clients, and that's what it's going to be. So yeah, I don't know about that. Let's hop back over to Molly. So Molly is, you know, trying to juggle both things. She is not doing well in her presentation because she keeps checking her phone, thinking that her brother's texting about her mom. You know, later on, it just ends up being that he wanted to tell her about something pretty minuscule or minor. But, you know, you're on edge because you feel like you want to be there with your mom or with whoever's in the hospital, but you also know, like, life must go on. But also, like, she should have just said, my mom had a stroke, so I'm not gonna be in work for a week or two. I need to take some time because I don't know if I need to be here. But then also too, I kind of like she stayed working because what could she have done in the hospital but sit there and worry and read WebMD? There's that part too. So I don't know. So, you know, she's kind of dealing with that. And Torian, who used to be like a real stickler and a person that just, these two was like fire and ice in the workplace, he's kind of eased up on this trip. Like, they're bonding more, her and like the rest of the black lawyers. You know, they're going out for different, you know, drinks or whatever after the day. And they done party too hard, and Molly wake up, her shirt is halfway on, she got somebody's watching her bed, it's Skittles in the bed, and I was just like, Lord Jesus, I hope she ain't hook up with this man. Like, I am all for people having fun. You know, she was getting down with the getting down. We was having lots of fun. But also, I'm in the business of nice, clean, wholesome fun, tie it up in a bow, get on back to our professional life and what we need to be doing. Like, we don't need to be out here. We're much too old to just be having so much fun that you release all inhibitions and all responsibilities. Like, that's not cute or cool, okay? So when she woke up the way she did, I was like, Lord, not around your coworkers. I was uptight for her because that is one of my rules. Like, even for my birthday, I had a lot of coworkers who came for my stuff. I was just still like, I don't know if I want to. I don't even allow myself to fully like just let loose like that, because your coworkers are the people that you are with in the daytime in the professional setting. So they have to be able to take you serious, you know, in that setting. You can't just be out here just cutting loose with any old everybody. And also, when you get to a certain age, you shouldn't be cutting loose like that. Like, maybe her and Issa, that's cool because, you know, she can trust her and stuff. But just with any old crowd, you got to know your crowds. You got to know your cliques. Okay. So, you know, she goes on down to breakfast. She's trying to recuperate and like remember, retrace her steps. She kind of makes up this little story about where she found the watch. Torian says it's his, and I'm just like, okay, did these two hook up? He reassures her like, nah, you know, they showing videos of her. And this is where I had another problem. Like, I'm like, okay, y'all have videos? Y'all have videos? If you got videos, honey, I don't know that. Like, why do y'all have video? I don't know if I trust that. Why y'all kept evidence so y'all can show it up on the boardroom PowerPoint on the screen? Why do y'all have evidence? You know, because it's not like y'all friends or, you know, cool on each other, follow each other on each other's Snapchat. So I don't know, I ain't like that. But, you know, they're kind of not really judging her. They're just like, yeah, girl, kind of is what it is. And maybe she's kind of like how much of a stickler that she's been. A lot of reviews that I've heard so far, Ashley Miller, Insecurity, Just My Opinion reviews, like all of that, like a lot of them were like, what about these two being together? And I was like, no, she ain't got to be with every man that she click with. Like, there's still a spectrum between having fun with dudes and being with somebody. Like, you could still have friends, like, you could still just, I just, Torian. I mean, he is her type, but I also feel like just because someone came along, now the way the show is going, they might end up together because he is someone who's been around from the beginning. It usually works out like that. Okay, I'm back. All right, so no, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they are cool, but maybe it's just I don't like Torian. Like, throughout the trip, he does end up being very understanding. She does finally share that her mom had a stroke, because they don't discuss personal things, but he's becoming so comfortable with her that she shares these things with him. He shares with her that up to each other and kind of sharing, like, he's like, next time you need to take a personal day, like, don't be so so hard-headed that you just continue working when you just don't have to do that. Like don't. Oh, there was a quote that he said that I can't remember. It was something about basically about not working too hard. Your personal life, like, basically trumps your work life. Like, don't let this work stuff, like, sorry y'all, that's my alarm telling me to leave the school. I have an alarm that be like, okay sis, you can't be at the school past this time, you got to go. Yep, you got to go. Because see, last year or the year before that, I used to just be there for hours, just sitting there, just make myself comfortable. No, you can do that at the house. Okay, so yeah, so I had like some funky energy towards them. He came to bring her swag bag. She like hugged him because her mom did end up waking up. Now, she still couldn't talk, but she ended up waking up, and this was a really good acting moment. Yvonne sincerely looked overjoyed, very happy, but I was also just like, just because this man came to the door, you ain't got to just give it up like that, girl. Like, it was just about to be some projected energy. And what just my opinion reviews, there's a girl that he has on there that he interviewed, or not interviews, they do the shows together. They do the Insecure reviews together live. She was saying that when Molly found out some tragic news, she went into the arms of Dro before. And I'm so mad that wasn't ever resolved, because I swear to y'all, that wife did not know what was going on. I swear to you, she did not know. But she was saying that Molly went into his arms when something tragic happened, and just like here, because of something great happened. Oh yeah, she found out that her parents, her mom had the affair or whatever. Because this time, Molly's finding out something really great. She's just like, she don't want her to be impulsive. And I'm like, I feel that. Don't be impulsive and try to give up the draws or think that he's just this great guy because he happened to be there when you find out, this great news about your mom. I just like, okay, Molly, keep it in perspective, keep it together. Like, you can be overjoyed, you can give him a hug. Okay, give him a hug, that's great. If you felt so moved to do so. But she got them glamorizing eyes and looking at him just like, And I was like, girl, sit back, girl. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We are not doing that. We're not doing that. I think that's it from the episode. We didn't see a whole lot of Kelly because, like I said, she was directing. She did really, really well. Haven't seen Tiffany, but it is a girls trip next episode. We are 4 episodes away from the very end, and from what I hear, a lot of you guys are upset about the show. What do you guys think about the show? You guys specifically that watch me on Twitter. I've just heard a lot of people saying like, it's moving so slow, and I'm like, I love it. I don't know, I love it. I'm Kemaray. This is Kemaray Music TV. Please leave your comments below. Thank you to those who commented throughout the live. Really appreciate you. Is it Skiwell 55? Thank you for your comments and talking to me while I drive home. I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Kemaray, and this is Kemaray Music TV. See you guys later. Bye.